We are using Zoom. For tonight's meeting, we're using Zoom to host the Youth Commission city meeting. At the bottom of the Zoom client, there are two icons, chat and raise hand. Please use chat only to report technical issues, such as being able to hear a commissioner. Please use raise hand to be recognized and enabled to speak. To comment under oral communication or any other agenda item, you are allowed 3 minutes to speak per agenda item. Emails are limited to 350 words. Also can be submitted to the city clerk and it will be read into the record. Only attendees using Zoom application can use the raise hand option to comment. Participants calling in from the telephone will only be able to listen and cannot provide feedback or public comment. Lastly, because we're not all in the same room, all the votes in this meeting will be taken by roll call.
Hi, good evening. Thank you for joining tonight's Youth Commission meeting. I apologize, my dogs are going crazy at the moment. So let's start. We're calling the meeting to order at 7:07 p.m. And roll call. Gracie, if you'd like to call roll.
Yes. Laria Castello?
Here.
Logan Campbell?
Here.
Oops, sorry. Sahil?
Here.
Solone?
Here, and it's Sloan.
Solone, sorry.
No, you're fine.
Correct me if I mispronounce your name, please. Thank you. Did I get everyone? I think that's all 5, right? Sahil.
We have Ilaria, Logan, Sahil, Sloan. 1, 2, 3, 4. We are missing one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Let's see if we have another commissioner join before we
here
move
we
further.
have Matthew Evans as attendees. So I think we just need to put him as a panelist.
Okay. Hi, Matthew, can you hear us? Hi, Matthew, are you there? Matthew? Matthew?
I don't think his microphone's working. Doesn't look like he's on mute and it's not moving, so.
Hey, Matthew, can you hear us? Okay, I guess Matthew's having microphone issues, but we are chatting via the chat and he says he can hear us. He's just having microphone issues. So for roll call purposes, Matthew is here. So we do have a quorum.
Perfect. Okay, well, we have a quorum. We have 5 people.
Okay, so I will move on to new business. The first order of business is approving the minutes of October 12th, 2021. Does anybody have any questions or would like to put in a motion to approve the minutes?
I motion to approve the minutes.
Okay, is there a second?
I
We need
second
somebody-
that.
Was that Logan?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so first and second by Logan. Ms. Gonzalez, would you like to do roll call for the vote?
So for Matthew, will we just take in his, the chat vote in there?
Yes, Matthew, in the chat, if you could just say aye or no on the roll call. I'm sorry, on the minutes, approval of the minutes.
So Matthew? Thank you. Laria,
Approve.
Logan,
Yes.
Sahil,
I approve.
and Salone. Did I say that right?
Yeah, I approve.
Great, thank you. So motion passes with a vote of 5, quorum.
Great, thank you for that. Okay, and for the next order of business is discussion on Youth Commission doing a food drive or a book drive or a coat drive for the winter season. So City Manager Leonardo's asked me to speak tonight regarding this. There was a conflict with another meeting with the town of Los Gatos that he is attending. So the purpose of this agenda item is last year, the Youth Commission decided to do a coat drive, and coats were collected from the community and it was delivered to City Hall, and then City Hall in turn at the end of December donated the coats to West Valley Community Services. This year, we'd like to open it up to commission discussion on whether or not they wanted to do another coat drive or do another type of community drive, or do something entirely different. So I wanted to open that discussion up to you as a commission to decide what you like to do for the winter season. Are our co-chairs on the line today?
Yes,
Felice?
Councilmember Lawler is here.
Yes, but is Savannah, or it doesn't look like Savannah or Jessica who were the co-chairs.
Oh, yeah. I don't see them.
Yeah, I don't see them either. And I believe the vice chair was that Logan? Were you chosen as the vice chair of the commission?
Yes, I was.
Okay. So yeah, I will go ahead and open it up to you, Logan, to start the conversation and the discussion between the commission on what you'd like to do for the winter season.
Yeah, of course. I mean, the coat drive was a big success last year. It would pretty good to do something similar to that. I also feel that maybe another type of drive would be very good. So personally, I would like a boat drive, but of course everyone has their own opinion. So I feel like we could maybe give suggestions to whichever one each of us would prefer or think that would most affect the community well. Like a food drive would be great to give non-perishable foods, and we could have some place to drop those off, like city council. A coat drive would also be good to drop those off at city council like we did last year. So I think it's up to everyone to think or reflect on which would affect the community most impactfully and positively.
So Logan, are you suggesting everybody that's here tonight share their preference with the group?
Yeah, I think that would be great. Just to see where everyone is leaning in that direction.
Okay, great. So do we want to start off? So Logan, you've said either food or coat drive, right? Who else wants to share? Laria, what are you thinking?
I think a coat drive would be good, especially because it's like gonna be a rainier, colder winter season, and I think that would be fun. Fun.
Sahil?
Yeah, I kind of agree with the coat drive as well, especially because like last year we did it and there was a lot of success with that. So we know that you know, sorry, we know that there's like definitely like people who are able to give coats, and I think we could replicate that again.
Sloan?
Yeah, I think I agree with what everyone else is saying. I think if it's worked in the past, then it makes sense to keep it going.
Perfect. And then Matthew, would you like to share your opinion via chat? Great. I think Matthew also agrees with the code drive. City Clerk Radcliffe, I have a quick question. In regards to the coats, where would they be donated once they would be gathered at the?
I guess we can make that a discussion with the commission on who they'd like the recipients of those coats. Last year was, kind of odd because of COVID, and we weren't sure like who was taking donations or whatnot, but we knew West Valley Community Services were, so we went with that. But we could leave it up to commission discussion on who they feel the recipients for the coat drive should be. Do you guys have any suggestions? Did you want to stay with West Valley Community Services, or did you want to look into other charitable organizations?
Yeah, I think looking into it would be a good idea. If possible, we could probably meet next meeting and see whichever large scale donation would be preferable if we're not going with West Valley, but we could also look into West Valley as well and see how they work with their donations. But I feel like as we start with this this drive, we could over time see which charity to donate to.
Okay, that's a great idea. My only concern is just timing. We are now in November. The next meeting that we have would be December, which kind of gives us, a narrower window for collecting the coats. Ideally, with the coat collection, we'd let the community know who we're donating, who we're collecting for. So that would be my only concern. Then second, a local charity, I guess, would be more preferred. It would be helping our community in the West Valley. So I lean towards staying with West Valley Community Services, knowing that the recipients will be members of our community in the West Valley. So those are just my 2 cents.
Yeah, of course. I think that's a great idea. Thank you for sharing. I think West Valley would then be a great charity to give to, as it's a pivotal place that I'm pretty sure like everyone in our community knows and refers to. So I feel like they would be more comfortable giving to that charity as they know what they're giving to.
Councilmember Lawler, did you have any thoughts on any organizations besides West Valley that we may be able to help?
No, I actually agree with you. West Valley Community Services would be great. They're an outstanding organization, and I know that they've truly appreciated everything that the Youth Commission did last year for them. So I would recommend that, as you said. And there's no reason to not go ahead and put out collection bins at City Hall as early as this week.
Correct, I agree.
I have a quick question. For last year's, did we leave it to the youth commissioners to create the flyer for it to be distributed? Or is that something we have?
We had created, the city had a standing flyer that we used, and it was distributed via our social media sites and our website, and I believe it was e-blasted and sent out at next door. So it's there. We have a template that's there that we could just use for this year's coat drive.
And can I ask, what's the timeline? When's the deadline that you would want to?
Last year, the deadline, I believe the city manager had it the week of Christmas. I'd have to double check. So it was delivered around that time frame.
Perfect.
So yeah, would have to double check, but it was towards the end of December.
Okay, that sounds perfect.
So if I could just get a consensus with a yes from everybody that we're agreeing to a coat drive that will be for the West Valley Community Services. We don't have to do a formal vote, but just a yes. If you could turn on your videos and just kind of nod your head and let me know that, yeah, you're good with that, we can move forward with it.
Yes.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so just by consent, we could say by commission consensus that it was agreed upon that the Youth Commission will be moving forward with the coat drive, and it will be benefiting the West Valley Community Services. Okay, let's move on to the next agenda item. Is there any committee or commissioner reports? I don't believe we have a representative yet to the Better Streets Commission. So there wouldn't be any commission reports on that. So I'll move forward to the commissioners' comments. Do any of the commissioners have any comments that they'd like to provide to the group? Going once, going twice. Okay. Councilmember Lawler, did you have any comments that you'd like to provide to the group?
Sorry, here I am. Yes, actually, I was wondering if I may suggest in the future, and I don't want to come down off as being a parent or a teacher, but I think it would be really nice if we could actually see each other on Zoom. I know that I'm also not, I've got my hair in a ponytail and I don't look great, but I think it's important, as long as we're meeting on Zoom, that we can see each other, and it would probably make meetings a little bit easier. That's just a suggestion. Thank you.
City Clerk Radcliffe, we can't hear you. You're on mute.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said I'm here. Sorry about that. And yes, I agree with Councilmember Lawler that we should be on video for our future meetings, just so it's a real meeting. So I agree with you. So thank you for that, Councilmember Lawler. Now you're on mute.
I was going to say, yes, thank you. You can have any filter you want. Just
Yes.
it's just nice to see a smiling face. Yeah.
Yes, perfect. Alrighty then. And so our next meeting will be held on December 14th at 7 p.m. I did want to just send out a reminder to the commissioners that if you miss 3 meetings, you will be removed from the Youth Commission. So just please keep that in mind, and please be sure that you attend our meetings, because they are very important. And then if nobody else has anything else to say, we can adjourn the meeting.
I'd just like to ask a question about the flyer for the drive.
Mhm.
I was wondering if I could talk to one of my school's administrators to have them put the drive into the announcements.
Oh, that would be wonderful. Yeah, if you can get the flyer out. What I'll do is once I get the flyer approved, I can send a PDF or a JPEG version to the commissioners. That way you can, speak to your school administrators to get that distributed throughout your schools as well. So I'll make note of that.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Any other questions? Okay, we can adjourn. Thank you. Have a good night.
Have a good night, everyone. Sorry
Thank
again
you.
for
Good
the wrong
night.
information on the Zoom.